Coming up on Cedar Valley Today, find out how floods have affected the Cedar Valley. Plus, we take a look at one Wartburg Knight's passion for soccer. And find out one way students at Wartburg spent their night away from the book. This is Cedar Valley Today. Hello and welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Tyler Metcalf. The city of Waverly and all across eastern Iowa was fighting floods this past weekend. Waverly residents were asked to evacuate late last week after flooding began in the community. The Cedar River crested in Waverly on Saturday night at around 13 feet. Residents were able to return to their homes Monday after an announcement from the city of Waverly and a press release. City officials say there will be a special garbage collection for the southeast residents in the evacuation zone on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. Later in the show, we'll have an engineering professor, Daniel Black from Wartburg College, to tell us more about inflatable dams and how Waverly's helped the community with flood levels. All downtown bridges in Cedar Rapids are still closed as the river continues to rise. This footage was taken on Sunday with drones that are becoming popular to see how bad flood damage really is across the state. The city was in one of 13 counties to be in a disaster proclamation by Iowa's Governor Terry Branstad earlier this week. Residents have been evacuated from around 5,000 homes in the city. The city is hoping that precautions taken after the 2008 flood will help the community.
If you look at Cedar Rapids, the work done immediately after the 2008 floods, the number of buildings that were moved out of the floodplain, we'll see in the next few days how that flooding goes, but certainly there were attempts at that time to move important infrastructure out of the floodplain so that repetitive flooding would not happen.
The river is expected to crest sometime today at levels less than previous records. When we come back, we'll take a look at your Wartburg Knights on the field. Sports teams at Wartburg have been keeping busy. The Wartburg Knights defeated Finlandia 56-0 on Saturday. It was the Knights' fourth home opener shutout win in Walston Hoover Stadium since it opened in 2001. Wartburg is now 2-1 overall on the season. The Knights will play the rival Cohawks on Saturday at Coe College in Cedar Rapids. With Division III sports, there are no scholarships. Students simply play for the love of the game. Cedar Valley Today's Alyssa Kozak has more.
For senior Paris Martins, soccer is more than just a sport. It's his life. Martins started playing when he was just 3 years old and has been a part of a club since the age of 6.
I've never really loved something like outside of my family as much as soccer before in my life. It gives me something to be motivated about. It's just something that I can go out every day and get better at.
Martins has been playing at the varsity level here at Wartburg College since his freshman year. Then, he had 8 goals, and now he leads the team with 5 goals in the first 7 games.
I gotta give a lot of props to the coaching staff. All the relationships I've built, people push me to work harder in practice. I've had a lot of people telling me I can't do certain things, which obviously motivates me more.
Martin's teammates may push him hard in practices, but once they are off the field, they become lifelong friends.
The minute practice is over, you go back to being what we call a brotherhood. It's what we want for this team, is a brotherhood. And so coach stresses that a lot.
Together with the brotherhood, Martins wants to win conference, stay undefeated at home, and make it to the national tournament. Martins also wants the team to have a good balance between being an athlete and being a student.
First things first, academics are always number one. My mom definitely stresses that a lot. But just trying to balance everything, it's really hard. I remember coming in freshman year and I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much homework. I have to go to practice, we leave and travel, I'm gonna miss class. A big key to that is just staying close with your professors. They're understanding, if you have to miss class to travel, don't just skip class. It's definitely a big key. Just don't just skip class. Make sure you talk to your professor.
Martins says that finding the balance between studying and being an athlete is key to succeeding. Going into his final year, Martins says his biggest motivator is losing conference last year along with his teammates. He wouldn't want to end his final year with any other team.
The Wartburg Knights will compete against Bethel University tomorrow, and you can also catch the Black and Orange on Night Vision October 2nd against St. Olaf. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's trending on social media. Let's take a look at what's trending in the Cedar Valley. Over the weekend, the Cedar Valley Humane Society took in many animals displaced from Benton County and Lynn County. At this time, they are at the capacity for dog holding and encourage those needing temporary dog housing to find a temporary foster home. They're asking for dog and cat food donations of any brand and type. Blankets and cleaning products are also very important. Junior Erin Jones is continuing her tear this season, being named to an all-tournament team for the 4th straight weekend. She was named the Iowa Conference's Female Athlete of the Week, as well as the Offensive Player of the Week, with 52 kills and 21 blocks in 5 games. The next home volleyball game is Wednesday, October 5th at 7 p.m. against Luther. With flooding in Waterloo and the Cedar Valley this weekend reaching record levels, one community came together. With a video that went viral, Waterloo has put themselves on the map. The group of citizens came together to save a deer on Friday from the Cedar River. Safe to say, deer aren't just for hunting in Iowa. And Wartburg juniors and seniors, make sure to check your email and vote for the 2016 Homecoming Court. Click on the link in your email to vote for up to 5 king candidates and up to 5 queen candidates. Voting will end Wednesday, September 28th at 11:59 p.m. Results will be announced on Monday, October 3rd. Now let's take a look at your local weather.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
That's
Now we welcome in Dr. Daniel Black to tell us more about Waverly's inflatable dam. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
As an engineering professor at Wartburg, can you tell us how an inflatable dam works?
Well, the difference, I think, between this kind of dam and what the city had before is in the ability to increase the flow rate to lower the water level upstream of the dam. In the older kind of dam, you have floodgates usually on the sides. They're basically little doors that open up, allow some of the water to go past the dam. And that there's a range of flow rate that can be allowed to do that. And I think the decision after '08 was that that didn't give the city enough control in a situation of heavy flooding like we've had in '08 and just recently. And so with the inflatable dam, what happens is the entire level of the dam is going down. A certain amount of water will go over the top of the dam, and that affects the level upstream from the dam. And so by pushing the dam down. It lowers all the level upstream. What it doesn't do much in either of these cases is affect the flow rate downstream of the dam, and that's where a lot of the heavy flooding in this last has been.
So when you talk about the old dam, is that like a regular dam? What's the difference between a regular dam and the inflatable
Yeah,
dam? Yeah,
the original dam was poured reinforced concrete. There's a solid structure in place. This current dam, there's concrete structure underneath it, but it's hinged, and there's a bladder that changes, so it's like a door that hinges up. And there's a bladder underneath that can push it up or down, and it gives quite a bit more control over the flow rate over top.
So how did this help with the flood here in Waverly compared to the ones in 2008?
You know, this sort of thing that's really hard to say, right? Because we know we had a century or so of experience with how we adjusted the floodgates on the old dam, how that affected the water levels. This is the first major event since this dam's been put in place. I think one of the things I noted, I suspect, is that we weren't seeing detailed flood forecasts this time, because I think the conditions in Waverly have changed a lot, and so there's less experience to base it on. However, it seemed like in this case that by being able to essentially remove the dam from the river altogether, that it gave the city better control over the flooding, at least, as I say, at least upstream of.
As an engineer, aside from inflatable dams, is there any other solutions that people could use?
No. I mean, realistically, in an area that's prone to flooding, without moving the houses or building reservoirs further upstream or something like major reconstruction, there isn't a whole lot that can be done about this. This level of control should keep the city property down by the river safer than it has been in the past, but we shouldn't have the illusion that these kinds of structures can just eliminate the forces. We live on a river, and we'll always have the risk of flood.
What do you think, just quickly, of the volunteer help that we got from everybody?
I think that's fantastic. Since I've been in Waverly, this was the fourth 100-year flood we've had in the last 20 years since I've been in Waverly. And one of the things that was significantly different this time was just the time of year. In the past, these events always occurred in the summer. Waverly has a lower population then and has less available volunteer help. I think the way the college and the students stepped up to this was very impressive. I know that Dan Kittle and his people had been prepared and were very involved in 2008, were again this time. But having 1,500 students here available, all of whom were interested in helping to help out in this community that's become their home too, was very impressive, and I think a lot of people are much better off.
All righty. Thank you, Dr. Black, for joining us today. We'll be right back after the break.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Students across the Wartburg College campus gathered to spend a relaxing night away from their homework. Entertainment Tonight, an on-campus event planning organization, offered students the chance to play bingo and win prizes. ETK also handed out punch cards so that when students attend an ETK event, they get another hole punch. After 5 punches, students can enter their names into a raffle.
I think that having people come to events is a good way for people to kind of interact with people that they might not normally interact with. And we also have, like, for bingo night, for example, we have prizes. And so that's something that's fun that helps get people to our events.
For a recap of your top 3, the Cedar River crested in Waverly on Saturday and is expected to crest in Cedar Rapids later today. Wartburg Knights Paris Martins is playing for the love of the game, and ETK is bringing students across campus together with different events like bingo. Thank you for watching Cedar Valley Today, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Don't forget to register to vote, as today is National Voter Registration Day. Have a great day, Cedar Valley.